homeland, along with our Indian, our European, our Chinese, and the many other ethnic communities that make up the population of this land. At the end of his speech, the steel band struck up. The soldiers came to attention. Bango shouted the command, and they began their march out of the ground. Alfred George left the podium and joined in behind them. Other people joined in too. I ran ahead up Main Street to better see the size of this new march. At the corner directing traffic was Corporal Aguilera, immaculate in his dress uniform, some fellas in white going to play cricket, and families with baskets waiting for the bus to take them to the beach. There was not a lot of people in the march, but for a beginning, it wasn't too bad. My mother Pearl, my father Michael, the neighbors, parents of children, Florence and the women, Miss Ramsing, Moxie, Kenny, they were all there with Bob, Kenos, Leroy, Raoul. I saw Walt and Che and Lulu and Miss Maya with a space around her and her arms spread open like a carnival queen. Robin was holding Ty. And in the crowd was Jean and Miss Marjorie and Margaret and Sarah and Jazzy and Smitty and Wassa and Lawrence and Jenny and Pico and Lyris and Hoda and Missy and Funchio and Sister Lillian and Talbot and Lloyd and Bernie and John and Judy and Nadine and Sharon and Assad and Christine and George and John the novelist from Matura. Enton, Merle and Norvon and Warner. It wasn't bad for a beginning. I got in behind them and we marched all through the town. Just as we were leaving Conaripo, at the corner was a National Party election campaign meeting. The speaker was one of the new people the party had brought in from the business world. He was speaking about the march. I stopped to listen. Alfred George has begun his campaign of political revenge. It is against the National Party that has governed in the interest of the people. Since we took office, we have maintained a stable society that is the envy of any in the world. Alfred George has taken the forum provided by innocent and patriotic people to celebrate nationhood, to evoke the specter of racial division by claiming reparation for Africans. There is nothing original in what he's proposing. All that it shows is the depths to which political outcasts will go to gain popularity. Like so many before him, Alfred George is not going to succeed in dividing this community. He will do well to remember that our watchword is tolerance. It is this that has enabled us to live with such goodwill despite our different histories. It will be useful also for him to note that the call for reparation is being mounted by persons who are themselves just as corrupt as those they accuse of sinning against their people. Our Africans, the speaker said, are quite happy to claim this as their homeland, along with our Indian, our European, our Chinese, and the many other ethnic communities that make up the population of this land. Ask them and they will tell you, all of them, that hard as it has been, they all feel that they have been fortunate to escape the poverty and corruption in the lands from which their parents originate. I turned away feeling somewhat sad. How didn't he understand? Then I saw it clearly. The tragedy of our time is to have lost the ability to feel loss, the inability of power to rise to its responsibility for human decency. As I made my way back to the march, I was far from without hope. I suppose What I have learned is not to despair because of our errors or be afraid to try again. I thought of my Uncle Bango and Miss Myrtle, of Alfred George and the lifetime it has taken him to get here. I was thinking that if what distinguishes us as humans is our stupidity, what might redeem us was our grace.
And what a lovely way to start off our closing ceremony. What might redeem us is our grace. So I want to thank Che Lovelace for that reading. And of course, from Salt, Mr. Lovelace, person who we honored today. So welcome.
Thank
We
you.
reached the end. We finished this year. The time flew, So let's talk, Sean. Let's talk about it. Let's just share a bit before we get into the thank yous and everything else.
Sure.
So we had some aspirations. We had some hopes. How are you feeling?
I think we way surpassed those aspirations and those hopes. Some of the things that touch me or that stand out for me in the festival is, above all, the generosity of spirit of all the people that participated in this festival. Obviously, it was very present, the guidance and presence of our ancestors and everything that we have been doing. The kind of hunger for connection that exists in the African diaspora and just among people of African descent around the world. And of course, the desire to contribute to our general development and to the repair that needs to be done as people in the diaspora especially. And of course, there are two African proverbs that kind of, for me, summarizes everything that has happened in this festival. The first is, if we stand tall, it is because we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors.
Yes.
And the second is, when the root is deep, there is no reason to fear the wind. And I think those two proverbs really kind of exemplify what transpired over this festival. I know we talked a lot. We got a lot of very good feedback from audiences as well as participants, especially from participants. And I think this year, the people who participated in terms of workshops and conversations really saw the value in the festival and built, got a deeper understanding of what they are doing and the possibilities of what they could be doing and what we could be doing together if we deepen our connections, deepen those roots that the proverbs talk about, because if the roots are deep, then we have no need to fear the wind.
You could withstand anything, yes. I know you led a couple of conversations. Any learnings from those? Anything you want to share with us?
Oh, wow. I would say the one thing that I learned is that community is so important. And we as a people are a community. And
Yes.
distance and land and water, it separates that community, right, geographically, but in spirit and in love and in true connection, the community does exist. So there were conversations that were held with people who never even spoke to each other before,
Yes.
but they were able to come together and share so willingly with full transparency. And that is a major takeaway for me, the importance of community and recognizing community.
Yes, yes. And I think that's important, as you say, recognizing the community, reaching out, connecting.
Yes.
I think that stood out for me in a lot of ways as well. And also our young people coming on board.
Oh, yes.
I was so excited for some of them. You remember the youth conversation around climate
Mm.
and, a couple others. I mean, the enthusiasm again, the appreciation for having the space to share. I think, as Sean said, that is what came through a lot for us this year. And, I'm so grateful that we can provide the space, because we're learning as we go, we're seeing the challenges, and we just, we're doing a bit.
Yes.
Sean, I know there were some challenges that we have to pay attention to. You want to speak to those? Not, but so there are challenges, yes, connected.
The biggest challenges, I think, and Ivor kind of touched on them. The fact
Yeah.
that people of African descent are literally everywhere in the world, and so finding, scheduling the festival and being able to bring people together who are in different time zones was a challenge. We find as well, which I think is a global issue, that sometimes people don't always have easy access. So there were several conversations where people were willing and wanted to be part of a conversation, but technology just wouldn't support that willingness and challenge them. And those are the things that we have to be aware of, that not everybody has the same access to technology and the same facilities. And so sometimes, although people want to participate and they want to contribute, it can, cause some challenges in their ability to do that. And those, I think, were two of the major challenges. Outside of that, I think people really, really just wanted to be involved.
And coming out for me, the learning from that was really just learning to let things go. Understanding, because you want to be able to control and to have it to go a particular way, but understanding we can't do anything about the technology.
Right.
And when it happens, to me, a big part of it was being sensitive to the situations that we have in the diaspora. Everybody doesn't have the same level of connectivity that we might have. So there's a sensitivity which has to come in when we're interacting with them, with other people in the diaspora. And for me, that was a big learning, like take it down, just relax. It will be fine. It will happen, because sorry, go ahead.
Now, I remember when we were trying to schedule the conversation with Fanwell in Ethiopia, as we all know, there's civil unrest in Ethiopia, and he messaged a couple of days before to say that the rebel forces were approaching Addis Ababa, and he wasn't sure if they would have internet connection on the day of the call. But he would keep us informed, and happily, he was able to have internet connection. It was challenging, but he did, we were able to have the conversation. But these are some of the real things that people in the diaspora or people of African descent across the world are enduring and dealing with, and we have to be sensitive to those differing realities.
Right. Yes, because I also remember, Nani, in terms of coming out of Peru and, doing the workshop, even as the bandwidth is low, And then I also think about the courage we had from some of the people who spoke. I'm thinking about Angola, Kim Praise, talking about his art, and there's an activism with which they do things. And saying, what, I could disappear for some of the things I'm saying. And in this part of the world, we don't know about disappearing for things you might say, right? At least I hope not. And
it was
knowing that,
it was simple things. He was just talking. He was giving genuine feedback about what the government in this country is doing. But it's a tradition of a military dictatorship where if you just say something in opposition to a government, that could put you in problems.
Yeah, you could disappear. So I really want to salute the courage that some of our brothers and sisters had in speaking out, in saying their truth, in sharing with us, even though it might be endangering for them. I think about the other artist who was Luang from Brazil, who also spoke out, knowing that, I could get into some trouble here, but we have to say what we have to say. And we appreciate that. It's a real learning for us here. Ongoing, beautiful learning, ongoing, challenging, and we go with it. Because there's a responsibility, I think, that goes with us being here. Yeah. Yeah, so we give thanks for that. We give thanks for all of the experiences that we had. And we take some time to reflect and to move on and to figure out how we will move on, because I am here in the charge put to us by Mr. Lovelace too, who is saying to us today, he really enjoyed what we did for the celebration of salt, and saying, every time we have a responsibility to do this, to ensure the young people here, to share the information, to share the knowledge. So we go in with this.
Yes.
Sean, anything else you want to share before we hand over to Ival to do her thank yous?
The last thing I would like to say is that a festival like this, of course, is it might look like just transmitting some stuff and getting some people together, but it really is a Herculean task that a lot of people contribute to make it happen over a long period of time, and people like Kieran who work magic behind the scenes that people don't see, and there are lots of other people like that who are working behind the scenes to make it happen. So that this is the labor of many people put together.
Mm-hmm. And I think for me, even, getting a sense of it, as you say, we don't really fully appreciate what it takes to bring this thing, to fruition, to make it happen. And I am beginning to get, a sense of that appreciation, the bits and pieces, and what I enjoy is the teamwork, we might miss something here, but then somebody else will ask a question. Or as I was telling Kira, I know I'm this way, I'm going to ask because I need to know for me, because it's all part of us working together.
Yes.
And that is appreciated. So we learn. And we give thanks for all the people behind the scenes working, doing this, sharing. We appreciate you. And Sean, I have to say it again, I really appreciate the energy and what you bring to the festival.
Yes.
Sean is Mr. Scheduler. I don't know. And the finder of people. I might just suggest a name, and next thing, Sean finds the people. They come on board, and we have a thing where we know it, because as we say, we know the ancestors and energies guiding us.
Mm-hmm.
If they're giving us too much of an angst, we know probably, well, next year, next time for you. But it's a way in which Sean approaches it, and I am really appreciative of that.
Yes. Yes.
Sean, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise not to call you or talk to you for the next 2 weeks.
Just leave him alone.
So he can air out his airs and breathe a bit, I promise. I'll give you 1 day or 2 days in there again.
1 or 2 days only.
Because, Ival, we have work to do.
No, you're right. You're right.
We have work to do, and we'll take the 2 days or so to kind of get out of each other's head and say, let me give him a break. But we have work to do, and there's an urgency, I think, which is calling us to do this work. So, yes.
Absolutely. We definitely have to show gratitude, right, to everyone who played a part. And certainly, we know our ancestors used to say, right, that it takes 9 days for a spirit to cross from the physical to the spiritual sphere. And this festival was 9 days. And we didn't even plan it as such, right? And it's only today that we realize, oh my gosh, it's been 9 days. And so when we think about the theme of the festival, that shift, it certainly was a shift and a journey, right? From one place to the other, from one understanding to another understanding, from one continent to the next, right? From all over the diaspora, from all over the globe, right? So this festival really was an amazing time and an amazing shift for so many people. But we must say thank you. Again, thank you to our ancestors. Thank you to all the shoulders that we stood upon throughout this festival and even beyond. All the participants in the conversations and the workshops from every corner of the world. It was just amazing. To all of our viewers, we say thank you. To Lee Lutchman for her incredible brand design and the visual designs. Oh my gosh. Thank you. For all of those who are following us on social media and saw all of the posts, we can't thank you enough. Kieran McDowell, again, for tech support. I want to stand up right now and just, Kieran was amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you for giving your time, from your family, from your home, being with us all day into the night to make this work. Christian Duff for our intro video. With each conversation, we were rocking to the intro video. Alex Crickey for website support. Our festival launch crew, Janique Dennis, Ruth Osman, Anderson Gonclaves, the board of directors, Nadella Oya, Anderson Conclaves, again, Jonathan, and Nicholas Ward. Our festival volunteers, where would we be without Journey Cunningham, Celissa Huggins, Janae Smith, Shawnee Richard, Karen David, Patricia Gordon, Michelle Alexander. Our volunteers are our lifeline. We also have the filming team for Revisiting Salt. Oh my gosh, Aisha Straker and Creative Joint. Our donors, the Heroes Foundation, Creative Joint, again, the Samad. Oh my gosh, our amazing family support. We have Michael Gilliard III and Deshauna Cooper at Quayle TV for their partnership. Quayle, thank you. Our interpreters, oh my gosh, translation, subtitling. We have Carlos Quengue, Roberto Quengue, Sukena Martin, and Guillermo Meza. Thank you. And then the youth film reviewers, we must thank you as well. Asha Lovelace and Earl Lovelace. Oh my goodness. If only we can just stand up and the 25th year anniversary. Energy. Oh my gosh, we received that energy. Thank you. Professor Sir Hilary Beckles and Shakira Maxwell at the Vice Chancellor's office. Round of applause. Thank you. For our readers, Wendell Manwaring, Shay Lovelace, Denaya Cunningham, and Lorraine Granderson. Thank you. And for the tribute dance, awesome, Jamie Filbert. Also Ruth Osman for See Them Come. Thank you. And it's just been amazing. We've all traveled through this journey of a worldwide event when we've come to this point. So we definitely have to thank the Creator for bringing us to this point, for our health and well-being. Thank you.
Thank you, Ival. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. See you next year. Or see you soon, not next year. See you soon.
2 days. All right.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Love and blessings.
Love.
Consciousness Festival. I'm Ruth Osman. This is Mr. Theron Shaw and Baba Onilu. We're going to be doing a piece that was composed specifically for this festival by myself, arranged by Terry. It's called See Them Come. running across the sand, whirlwind rising, fire in their hands. See them shining, children of the sun. Hear them chanting, thunder of the drum. See them come from lakes and rivers, forests and plains. See them come, mountains, savannas from every land. See them come, farmers and warriors, poets and priests. See them come, I'm going to join them, come go with me. See that river